Hi team, happy July. I hope you're all doing well. It is currently the 3rd of July, Monday the 3rd of July. I haven't had a chance to start this vlog yet because if you've seen the B-reel from the beginning of this video, you will see that I had a pretty busy weekend. We had Andy's niece all weekend and we went to the zoo. And then on Sunday I had a baby shower. So it's been a pretty busy, chaotic weekend and I just haven't had a chance to start this vlog. So I thought I would do it now since I just got home from Andy's. I've been at his since Friday. Not too long actually, since Friday. I was there a good portion of last week. This week it's going to be quite similar, but I'm going to be there even longer. I'm going to be there from Wednesday right through till Sunday because I've got a really hectic, busy week again this week. I'm just dying for a really quiet week. This week is going to be filled with, today I've been looking after Thomas. It is already 3:10 in the afternoon, so I've been looking after Thomas, got my hair done this morning, I've been looking after Thomas this afternoon while Matt and Tara went to a midwife appointment. I'm sorry, school's just finished, so the traffic's going by. And now I am home. I do have patron sprints starting at 6 or 6:30, I can't remember, around that time zone. And then tomorrow is going to be a really busy filming and editing day. I also need to get a lot of reading done because I'm really behind now on what I need to get read. So I really need to get some reading done. Wednesday, a work day, normal to my job work day. Thursday we're going up to my dad's because it's his birthday on Thursday. Friday I've got a funeral. Saturday is a quiet one and I'm hoping it stays that way. Sunday I'm going to my nana's in the morning. It's the Silverstone race and I'm gonna have more reading and filming and editing to do, work to do. So yeah, I am struggling right now with time. I have the same 24 hours in a day that everybody else does, but I'm really struggling to manage my time right now. I've got, my social life is completely wild. Obviously we've just had Thomas's birthday, then a weekend with Andy's niece, and now I've got a week filled with other duties, my dad's birthday, a funeral, work, seeing grandparents, etc. It's really busy at the moment and I'm just really struggling to manage my time with, I have to basically, when it's a work day, I have to decide whether I'm going to film and edit or read. I'm struggling to manage to fit both in, and it's becoming a pain. So I need to try and time manage better, which is ironic because of what I'm about to say. So recently I started watching The Good Doctor, which I've been absolutely loving. I've been having a fantastic time. It's basically a drama, a little bit like Grey's Anatomy, for example, but the interns we're following 3 specific interns, and one of them is actually autistic, and he's absolutely fantastic. Sean, I love him, and it's basically because of TikTok. It's TikTok's fault. So we're going to blame TikTok for this. So I've been binging it a little bit this weekend. Whenever Andy's fell asleep at night and Amelia's fallen asleep, I've been binging The Good Doctor, and I'm up to about episode 11, I think. I watched a couple this morning before I went to my brother's. And yeah, so I've been binging The Good Doctor, and I'm now, this is where the time management comes in, because I want to watch an episode now that I'm home. Get my own Netflix up to date because I've been watching it on Andy's Fire Stick thing. So what is, I think season one. Oh, it's not even on Netflix. Is it on Prime? Whatever the hell it's on. So I want to watch an episode now. My issue is that I binge watch things. When I'm enjoying them, I binge and I can't stop. I watch an episode, I move on to the next episode instead of doing the things that I needed to do. But because I've got sprints tonight, my thought process is that if I watch an episode, max 2 now, I can probably get an hour of reading in as well before I even start sprints. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Just give myself a minute to just like chill out, because this weekend has been chaotic. This week is going to be chaotic, and I need to take in, I just feel like I need to take in these moments where I've got a chance to actually do that. So that's what I'm going to do. I have just gotten in, unpacked everything, put a wash on. I've got another load of washing to do as well, so I need to make sure I stay on top of that, and I've just tidied up very quickly as well. Tomorrow, oh yeah, tomorrow's a busy one as well. Not only am I working, but one of my handymen is coming round to sort the radiator out and put a seat in the bay window and do some other shit that's like on his list. So he's coming tomorrow as well, and I must remember that. But yeah, as far as reading is concerned, I am still reading the 3 books I was reading towards the end of June, which I didn't mention any of them because I was doing a reading vlog of trying to read 50 pages a day, but because the weekend just got so chaotic, I've completely failed with it. So I'm going to scrap that video completely. So I am currently reading The Dead House by Dawn Kurtagich, which was picked for me by one of my patrons, Zoe. Thank you for picking this one. I am currently on page 100 on part 2. One thing I will say about this is I'm completely devastated that there's no audiobook in the UK for it. I'm gonna have a butcher's on the US Audible and see if it's on there. But I'm completely devastated because this book really lends itself to an audiobook. So we're basically following a girl called Carly who went to Elmbridge High School, which burned down 25 years ago. 3 students were killed in the blaze, 20 were injured, and 1, Carly Johnson, disappeared. For 2 decades, little was uncovered about what became known as the Johnson incident until now. And this is basically told in mixed media format, in the format of diary entries, messages, like IMs, back and forth between people, interviews, etc., therapy sessions and stuff like that. And it's really interesting, but it would really, really lend itself to an audiobook. So I'm completely devastated that there isn't one. But so far, I am enjoying this one. I wasn't 100% certain when I started it. And the fact that it doesn't have an audiobook means I'm reading it really, really slowly, which, you know, is not great. But I am enjoying it to the point that I do want to know what happens at the end. Next book I am reading is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, and I had every intention of finishing this before I went to Andy's on Friday, and I just didn't get a chance to do so. I did get to page 176, and I am enjoying this one. This is following Millie, who is a housemaid. She's just recently gotten a job for Nina Winchester. Millie has a back story that we don't know the full ins and outs of, which we're finding out as we go along. Nina Winchester is a very bizarre woman. She has a husband and a daughter, and she has employed Millie as a live-in housemaid, but she was so friendly, almost over the top too friendly in the interview, but since Millie moved in, it's been getting really, really strange. She's been asking Millie to do things and then basically bollocking her for it later on, or saying that Millie's lying and that Nina never asked her to do it, and it's getting really, really weird. And a twist just happened, and now I have a theory about what is going on, and I'm intrigued to know whether or not that theory is going to come to fruition. Again, I've been reading this a while. It's taken me way longer than it should have, and I really need to get back into the swing of things and picking up books and reading them rapidly. So yeah, intrigued about that one. My aim is to try and finish this today. That is my aim today. And then the other book that I am partway through is Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons, which is for Jade's Patreon buddy read. Ruin of Kings was June's book, so I am incredibly behind, seeing as I'm only 96 pages in. But this is following a bard's apprentice called Kieran, who grew up on heroic tales. But he ends up finding himself one day trying to rob somebody, and it doesn't go the way he thinks it's going to go. And then he ends up finding himself in the center of an ancient prophecy. And maybe Kieran isn't even the hero for his not destined to save the Empire, he's destined to destroy it. Now, I didn't think I was going to enjoy this 100%. Just because of a couple of things that Jade said. This is one of her favourite series of all time. So this could be a touch and go as to whether or not our relationship survives. But so far, 96 pages in, I am intrigued. There's footnotes in this. I don't usually do well with footnotes. Babel is an example of that by R.F. Kuang, and so is Nevernight by J. Kristoff. I do not do well with footnotes. However, this is done very well. It's not done in such a way that the footnote is there simply to explain something to you. It's done in such a way that it will be there to explain something to you, or it's just there to be a sarcastic comment. And I'm enjoying it. I don't hate it. It's good. So I'm intrigued. There is a character in here that I have no idea who they are, but I'm intrigued to find out their story as well. But so far, I'm enjoying it, and I think I'm understanding what's going on other than this character who I don't think we're supposed to know who she is at this point. So I would like to make more progress in this as well this week, but I also need to read Twisted Love because the live show for that is Monday next week. And I will be doing a separate video for that, but I did just want to mention it here as well so that you know that's what else I'm reading this week. I've got to sort my shit out, I swear, because I'm super behind on stuff and I'm not enjoying what I'm doing right now fully. I've got to get my shit together. And I'm hoping that this month will be the month for it. Not this week, because this week is already incredibly busy, but I'm hoping that this month in general will be the month that I get my shit together. I'm hoping that I can get my house in order a little bit better, because the renovations are taking so much longer than I anticipated, and I'm falling just incredibly behind with it. I still have no bedroom. I still have no office. All of the shop is on my dining table, so I can't have people round to eat, and the house is upside down. And it's really stressing me out. It's probably actually another reason why I'm voluntarily staying at Andy's more than I usually do as well, because it messes with my head. Like, even when I'm sat at the dining table trying to edit, I'm just surrounded by the shop and I'm just so distracted, and it's really messing with my head. So I've got to sort the house out this month and really get that in order. I'm hoping that the chimney removal will happen this month. I am rethinking my shelf situation, because I've got to sort that out as well. So there's a lot going on this month, but I'm really hoping to sort my shit out, both mentally, physically, and with my job in general. I am struggling and I really need to sort myself out. So that's my aim for this month. Welcome to the July vlog. This has been a very long intro. I do apologise, but there was a lot I wanted to say. So yeah, welcome to July's vlog, and I hope you enjoy yourself. We're just going to get right into it, I suppose. I'm going to watch a couple of episodes of Good Doctor and then try and finish this evening and make some progress on one of these two as well. Hopefully that is the case, or start Twisted Love, because I do need to get through that as well, and I've only got kind of really today and tomorrow to do that because the rest of the week is so busy. Maybe Sunday evening and then Monday daytime, but I just don't want to leave it that late if at all possible. So I need to make some progress somewhere on something. I'm gonna go, and I shall see you soon for another update. have you been?
I see a big water outside.
Don't touch it. Come here. Stand next to me. Who is that?
Steph. Watch me, Steph.
Watch her. Amazing.
Nice.
The 9th, Sunday the 9th of July, and I thought I'd better come on and give you an update for this monthly vlog, because I finished a couple of books and I've got a couple of bits of merch, including this sweater. This is from Narrative Thread. I did purchase this myself and I am obsessed. The colour is gorgeous. It's like a stone colour and I'm obsessed with it. And then I also got the Zodiac Academy crest in grey as well. I did also purchase that one. Obsessed. The quality of these is stunning and the sizing on them. I get an extra large in my sweaters. First of all because I am a chunky monkey, but second of all because I like them baggy. So perfect sizing, absolutely fantastic, love them, obsessed. Narrative Threads, I will leave a link to them in the description box down below if you want to check them out. So those were the merch that I got recently, and I wanted to give you an update on a couple of bits of reading. So I did finish The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I don't know if I think I started off the vlog mentioning this. I did end up finishing this one, actually probably a week ago now, very early on in the month, and I really enjoyed this one. I ended up giving it, I think it was 4 stars if I remember correctly. If that's wrong I'll put it on the screen, but I'm fairly certain it was 4 stars, and I really enjoyed it. And there is a second one to this called The Housemaid's Secret, so I'm very excited about that as well. The prediction I had earlier on in this book came to fruition, so it's a good thing that I didn't mention what that prediction was, but it came to fruition, but I didn't see the rest of it going the way it did. And this there's a thing I wanted to say then, but I just don't know if it will give away how this, like the direction that this goes in, so I don't think I'm gonna say it, but I really enjoyed this. It was fantastic, so it was really good, and I had a fantastic time with it, and the audiobook was fantastic as well. So I'm excited to pick up The Housemaid's Secret at some point soon, hopefully. I do need to purchase it, but it was very good, so 4 stars for that. And then I did continue on with The Promised Neverland Volume 2. I read Volume 1 at Jade's, I think last year, at the end of last year, and Jess actually put The Promised Neverland Volume 2 on my 12 books from 12 friends. She did me an absolute solid and put me a manga on, and it means that I'm continuing on a series as well. I did give the first volume 3 stars. I didn't love it, but I was intrigued enough to want to know what happens next. So I then went out and purchased a whole bunch of the rest of these. I think I've got up to like volume 5 or something. So this series follows a group of kids in an orphanage. There is a woman that works there that looks after the kids that they call, I'm sure they call her mum. And we end up following some of the more like older determined kids, Emma, Norman and Ray. And they end up in the first one finding out that something's not quite right with this orphanage, that kids that are leaving and supposedly going into homes are not going where they're being told they're going. It's very dark. And it went in a direction I wasn't expecting in the slightest. This one just continues on from that story. I can't really tell you any specifics about this one without spoiling the first one. And what I will say about this series is that I find that it starts off really strong, and then in the middle I kind of lose my way a little bit with it because I feel like it's a bit repetitive and I'm just struggling with the story and I'm not engaged 100%, and then it gets me again in the last third. So the first and last third are always pretty good and have me really intrigued and quite hooked. The middle third is just not, it's not the one for me. I am going to continue on with the series, but again, I think this got 3 stars on Core Pile. Again, if I'm wrong with that, I'll leave it here, but I'm fairly certain it was 3 stars on Core Pile. So I will be continuing on with the series, but this does mean it's another book off of my 12 books from 12 friends, which is fantastic news because I've been doing fucking shit with that. So yeah, those are the 2 books that I have finished so far this month, outside of dedicated vlogs. I am currently filming a dedicated vlog for Summerween, and I am about to start, confuse the shit out of myself when I import all of this footage, but start another vlog as well for the Twisted series. So I am finishing some books. I think so far, 1, 2, 3. I've finished 3 books so far, so I'm already halfway through what I finished in total for June, which is great news. And it looks like we're on track for doing better. So I'm happy with that. I am happy with that indeed. I was going to give you progress on the Dead House, but I'm not going to do that because I think I'm actually going to finish it for Summerween, so that will be in that vlog. If you haven't already seen it, I will leave a link to it up here because that will be up before this, obviously. So that is my update of where I'm up to so far this month. There have been a couple of bits that we've been getting up to. I've been getting up to this month so far, and it's shaping up to be a reasonably busy but nice month, I think. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen this month. I did get a couple of nice comments on my June monthly vlog so far. That's gone up today, and they've been really nice and helped a little bit with the imposter syndrome. Some comments that people love the chatty bits but also really enjoy the b-roll. That's because I've been on b-reel today for the first time in months. B-roll, especially with it being a more kind of lifestyle-esque type vlog, so that's exciting. I can definitely do more of that, and it helps me going forward with the rest of my monthly vlogs because I do enjoy doing these. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. I need to go to bed. I'm absolutely exhausted, and having that vent has just really took it out of me, so I'm gonna go up to bed. But I will check back in with you when I've got another update for you, whether that be bookish or whether to just come on and have another chat. We'll see. But I will see you then. Hello my loves, it is currently Sunday the 16th of July. Yesterday was my F1 readathon, so I did a separate reading vlog for that, and last week was Summerween, so a separate vlog for that. I will leave links to both of those up there if you would like to check them out, and also in the description box. I would highly appreciate it. But I need to get back to this July vlog because I've got stuff going on, and I am currently reading something that is now not going to be part of a reading vlog other than this. So that book is Zodiac Academy Volume 3, Zodiac Academy 3, The Reckoning. I'm really excited to be back with this series. I made the decision yesterday as part of the F1 readathon to pick this up and just get as far as I possibly could in it. I knew I wasn't going to finish it, but I was kind of at a loose end towards the last couple of hours of the readathon, and I wanted to try and get into something else that was on my July MBR even. I'm already thinking about my August MBR. On my July MBR, this went on my June's MBR as well, and I didn't pick it up. So I really wanted to get to it this month, and I'm really glad that I have. This series follows Tori and Darcy, who are twins. Human twins, and they kind of lead a bit of a rough life. They're 18, their foster father has kicked them out, and they are fending for themselves and stealing to do so, essentially. And one day they come across this guy called Orion, Professor Orion, who tells them that they are not in fact human. They are Fae heirs to the throne of Solaris. So they go back with him to Solaris. They join Zodiac Academy, and they have to pass the reckoning in order to get their inheritance and the throne. Now, over the last 18 years, the girls are thought to have been dead with their parents, but it turns out that's not the case. They've been changelings. They were swapped for human babies at the time that their parents died, and they were put in the human world, and that's how they've grown up human and not knowing anything about there even being a Fae world, never mind the fact that they're Fae. And during this time, 4 families were nominated, and the heirs of those 4 families are now going to be heirs to the throne. So there's a fight for the throne. This is very much like a bully romance, and the girls are, to be honest, don't have any particular interest in the throne. They just want their inheritance, and then they can, I don't know, do whatever they want to do, whether they want to live as Fae in Solaris or whether they want to go back to the human world. I don't know what they want specifically. But yeah, it's very much a bully romance. It was quite violent in the first book, I will say that. It's not a masterpiece of literature, but it's very addictive and it's very entertaining, and I am having a fantastic time. I'm so excited to be back in this world. I do have my Zodiac Academy jumper on today. Represent. This is from Narrative Threads, by the way. If you are interested in checking them out, I'll leave a link to the description box in them down below if I remember to do so. I also have a Vega t-shirt, Vega Twins t-shirt from them, and a Basgaith sweater from them for 4th Wing. The sweaters I bought myself, the Vega t-shirt was gifted. So just an FYI, I was gifted the t-shirt, and then I did go ahead and purchase some more from them because I love the quality of their clothes so much. They're so great. So yeah, this is what I'm currently reading. Yesterday during the readathon, I did manage to get to page 295, so I made it not quite halfway, but I made a massive dent in this. This is the first one that I'm listening to the audiobook, and I am enjoying it. I will say, I did mention this in my F1 readathon, but I will say that the narrator for Darius is quite an aggressive narrator, and Darius's character and nature, I think, is quite aggressive, but I figured that he would be, in my head, he was kind of like generally, not specifically softly spoken, but generally normally spoken, and then he could be aggressive, whereas this narrator is just generally always aggressive with him. He's had a couple of conversations with Orion now where I'm like, this conversation doesn't need to be this aggressive from Darius's POV. So yeah, it's interesting, but I am enjoying the audiobook. I physically read the other 2, but it took me ages to get through them, and as the books get bigger, I did decide that I wanted to switch over to the audiobooks, and I'm glad I made that decision, because right now I am currently obsessed with Monopoly on the PlayStation. Andy's gotten me into it and I'm having a blast, so I'm going to continue playing that. I'm feeling a bit dicky today. We went out last night. I had the time of my life. It was fantastic. I had a really good time, and I'm feeling a little bit delicate today, so I'm just going to chill out for the day. I do have a ton of work to do, but I'm just going to get on with it tomorrow, or if I feel like it later, I'll do some later, because it's not too late in the day. It's 5 o'clock, so I'm going to play some Monopoly, listen to some of this. Maybe I'll finish it today, maybe I won't. It would be nice to finish this today because I want to get back to the Twisted series tomorrow, and for the rest of the week. So we'll see whether or not I manage that. But yeah, this is what I am currently reading, FYI, and I'm having a great time, and I'm really excited. I decided to pick this up at the end of the readathon yesterday. Rather than cramming something else in just to finish the readathon off, this was a great shout. So having a fabulous time, glad to be back with these characters. The Twisted series put crack in these pages, I'm not joking. So yeah, that is my plan for the day. So I'm going to go ahead and set myself up with a game of Monopoly and listen to some more Zodiac, and I will chat back in with you when I've got another update for you. Probably when I finish Zodiac, to be honest, because I'm already halfway through. No point giving you another update. There's only so much I can tell you because it's the 3rd book in the series. So yeah, I'm going to go and I'll chat back in with you later. Hello, it is not focusing on me. It is the next day. It's now Monday the 17th. I only updated you last night, not like me to do back-to-back updates on these monthly vlogs, but I wanted to keep you in the loop with what's going on before I forget what's going on. I don't know why this is bumping like this so badly. I did quite a bit of reading last night. I got a new coffee table. which I will be showing in a separate video because I'm doing a renovations video for down here as well as upstairs. But I got a new coffee table and I wanted to build it last night, so I was listening to Zodiac Academy The Reckoning whilst doing that, and then got partway through building the coffee table and my power drill doesn't work anymore. So I've had to buy a new power drill. It's coming this afternoon and I'm having to wait for that. So I'm on Magic Monday sprints. I've just edited 2 videos, my summer ween vlog and my F1 readathon vlog. I think while I'm doing so many different vlogs at the same time, I need to be really careful because I've got to my summer ween vlog and there is literally 3 clips of me talking, the beginning, a couple of days later, and then the wrap up, and it's really bad. I've got B-roll in there, which is fine, but for some reason I just keep forgetting to update my videos, like chatty. So I've got to get better at doing that, and maybe I should start like a tick box system on days that I'm planning on doing updates and filming, etc. So yeah, but I've edited those 2 videos. We're currently almost 5 hours into Magic Monday sprints with patrons. Jade's on with me as well. And I wanted to give you an update on reading because I finished Zodiac Academy The Reckoning last night. This literally took me 2 days. I started it on Saturday for the F1 readathon and then I finished it Sunday evening when I got back from Andy's. So yeah, I loved this. This leveled up, and this is the reason why I wanted to show in my ratings. Like, the first 2 books were 4 stars for me, 4.5 if I gave half stars. I really loved them, but I wanted to show in my ratings at what point things kind of leveled up, and this was it. This got 5 stars. I loved it. In this one, we do get way more of the plot. Like, there is plot in the first 2, but it's not necessarily going anywhere. We're spending a lot of time at the school, the girls are integrating, the girls are being bullied, the girls are surviving, etc. But as far as like the actual main plot is concerned, it's not necessarily going anywhere. We're getting more information, but it's not going anywhere. In this one, we started. The car is going, the train has left the station, we're on our way. And I'm having a fantastic time. So yeah, 5 stars for this one. The characters kind of like leveled up, their relationships leveled up. This got way more spicier than the first 2 books were, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm like proper solid in the relation. I'm not 100% solid in Tori's relationships, but Darcy's, yes. And I'm enjoying the side characters. We're getting a little bit more as well. Geraldine is an absolute gem and I love that girl. She's fantastic. So yeah, I had a fantastic time with this one. 5 stars. I can't believe it only took me 2 days. Normally I would be like, yeah, this only took me 2 days. I can't believe it took me 2 days. It should have only taken me 1. But with the way my reading's been going recently, I can't believe it took me only 2 days to read this. So buzzing. Absolutely thrilled to bits about that one. So I am going to be moving on. This is going to seem like a really weird switch. I'm going to explain myself, but I'm moving on to Ruthless Boys book 1, which is the series that's set 5 years before the Zodiac Academy. So we have Ruthless Boys, which is set 5 years before Zodiac Academy, and then we have the Dartmoor Penitentiary series, which is set 5 years after Zodiac Academy. And I have done a lot of research into the reading order of this entire world, the world of Solaris. And I've done so much research into how to read this. Should I have started with, did I need to start with this series because it's set 5 years before? Do I read all of Zodiac first, then go back to the other 2 series? Like, what do I do? And I found a reading order that I have seen now a couple of times people suggesting, and it is to dip in and out of the series. So I've seen one that recommends reading book 1, book 2, go back to book 0.5 because you then have established the relationship between the characters, and that gives you then a little bit more of an insight into Darius and Orion. If you read that before you read book 1, you're not really going to know what the fuck's going on and what it's talking about. And I think it's great to have established the characters of Darius and Orion and their relationship before you pick up book 0.5 because it explains it. Then book 3, and then book 1 of the ruthless boys. This is very complicated. The reason behind this is that apparently some characters that appear in book 4 onwards are from this series or have origins in this series, whether their parents are in this series or what. I don't know the full ins and outs of it, but apparently some of the characters appear in that. And apparently you're meant to start off with the Zodiac Academy series before you start this one, because the magic system isn't explained too much in this one, because it's assumed that you've already started with this. Does that make any sense? Probably not. So the reading order that I have is going to seem very, very wild and very, very messy, but I'm hoping it works for me, and I'm hoping that this means that I will pick up on any Easter eggs continuing forward with Zodiac Academy 4, etc. Now, I will be on this series for the next 3 books, and then I'm going to come back to Zodiac for... I'm going to come back to Zodiac for 2 books. It is recommended that I read Zodiac 4, then Dartmoor Penitentiary 1, then Zodiac 5, but I have heard that the cliffhanger of Zodiac 4 is unreal, that you have no choice but to pick up Zodiac 5. So I'm going to do that, and then Dartmoor Penitentiary, I think. I don't know. I'm going to see how it goes, but this is where I'm at. I'm going into this next. That was huge explanation. I don't know why I needed to explain myself. It's going to make sense. I'm hoping that when I've like read all of these, maybe I will be able to do like a reading order of what I recommend, whether it's the way that I read it or whether I recommend you read it a different way. I don't know, we'll see. But this is what's going to happen. So I don't know anything about this other than the fact that it's set in the same world. It's set 5 years before Zodiac, and I know nothing else. What do a heartless dragon shifter, a cold-blooded basilisk, and an arrogant lion shifter and brooding harpy have in common? We haven't come across a lion shifter yet. That's interesting. Elise Castillo, vampire, angel of vengeance, and a girl on a mission to destroy one of them for murdering my brother. I just don't know which one did it yet. I was told that the king of Aurora Academy killed my brother, but the trouble is there's 4 kings at the academy, and each one of them have motive and bloodthirsty natures. Aurora Academy isn't a place for the faint of heart. The school itself is divided by 2 gangs, the Lunar Brotherhood and the Oscura clan, and guess what? 2 of the kings run them, and their hatred for each other is so fierce I hear a day doesn't go by without blood being spilled in the halls. I don't believe in fate, but I do know this. The king who killed my brother is a dead man walking, and I am prepared to sacrifice my heart, body and soul to ensure I get my revenge. Who's putting money on the fact that she falls in love with him? So yeah, I am excited about this one. Oh, they're just so pretty, you know? I'm excited about this one, so I am going to be diving into this next as far as like July is concerned. I am focusing on the Twisted series, which is for a separate vlog, so I'm not telling you about that. So I'm trying to focus on that at the beginning of this week, and then I will start this. But I just wanted to let you know where I was going next with my reading so that you were clued up and up to date. I will update you on this when I have made some progress, and that's it. That's all I've got to update you on right now today. I have nothing else to tell, other than Derek's coming on Wednesday to sort out my shelves, not these, my shelves upstairs, which is again in a different video. Your girl literally has about 5 vlogs on the go at any one time right now, and it's very, very overwhelming. It's a struggle to keep my head straight, and it's no wonder that I am missing clips from videos, because I keep forgetting that I have so many on the go. It is what it is. I'm gonna go. I'll check back in with you when I've started this and I've got an update for you, and I can let you know how it's going.
What are you doing?
This is going in my monthly vlog for July. Barry. Will you get on the cow? Barry. Get on the cow, do it for the vlog.
Taking a call.
You can Morning. It is Tuesday the 25th of July. And I haven't updated you in a while. I was going to update you yesterday, but I started doing a weekly vlog for my patrons. And I just kind of forgot, to be honest, everything that I need to tell you is almost semi-irrelevant. It's not, but it kind of is. So I haven't started Dark Fae like I was hoping to. I just haven't had the time. It's the last day for me to try and make my way through Twisted Lies, which is the last in the Twisted series, to finish that vlog off for tomorrow. So I need to focus on that today, which is my plan. And I'm also taking part in a read along with Tandem for I'll Always Be, what's it called? I'll Always Be With You by Monica Murphy. I'll show a picture of it here because my book's downstairs. The read along starts today, but I did read the first 3 chapters for the read along on the weekend, just to give myself a head start, which I was hoping I would be further in by now, but I'm not. So it is what it is. So I'm making my way through that this week, but as soon as I finish Twisted Lies, I am starting Dark Fae on audio. So I just want to get Twisted Lies done and dusted. I think I've got about 3 hours of the audiobook left. So that is my plan for today. Yesterday I was up really late. I was up till about 3:30 in the morning. 2:45 I finally came up to bed. I was working till 2:45. I did so much yesterday. I finished the shelves off in here yesterday. I filmed a video. I wrapped up 2 videos, which were my renovation vlog and my shelf organisation video. I then filmed my August MBR, my shelf organisation video, my renos video, and filmed up to date for this vlog, the July monthly vlog. I took some Instagram pictures. They're captioned and ready to go for the week. I did Patreon sprints, watched 3 episodes of Hawkeye, read 306 pages, I think, of Twisted Lies. And I think that's everything I did yesterday. I did so much, but I wanted to try and get all my editing done. My thought process was, if I get all my editing done today, I can focus on reading, because I've got no editing left to do now, unless I start editing my Twisted series vlog, which to be honest, I don't think is going to be a particularly long vlog anyway, so that's good. I can just get round to editing that once I've finished Twisted Lies, because that's my priority now. I do have an optician's appointment in 30 minutes. At 5 to 11, so I am going to go out and have that optician's appointment, and then when I get back, reading will be my priority. It looks like it's about to go really dull and rain, and I'm about to leave the house. I was going to walk to the optician's because I don't see the point in driving, and I could do with a walk. Please don't rain. I don't really want to put a coat on because it looks like I'm going to get too warm for a coat. I might put my body warmer on, maybe, because at least I can put shit in my pocket, then don't have to take a bag. That's my phone reminding me about my appointment. So yeah, that is my plan. So finish the Twisted Lies series and start Dark Fae. I'm hoping to finish that before the end of the month. We still have a bit of time, so that's good. I've got till Monday next week. So yeah, that's what's up. I'm really ahead on my videos again, and I'm really proud of myself. I can't believe that I've actually managed to stay ahead with my videos all through July and now going into August, because I've got, other than the Twisted series, which is going up tomorrow, I have my August MBR for Sunday done. I've got my Renos vlog for next Wednesday done. I've got my shelf organisation for the following Sunday done. What's coming after that? This vlog is coming after that, and then the Gav Recommends Me manga video is coming after that, and I'm partway through that series as well. That's something else I need to continue on with. So I'm really proud of how it's going, and then it's a couple of vlogs that I'm going to be filming very early on at the beginning of August. So I'm really hyped with how on my shit I appear to be. So yeah, I also really very quickly wanted to explain myself at the beginning of this video. There is, not right at the beginning, I think it's like the second chatty bit in, I have a little bit of it's not really a rant with myself, I just kind of have a mental health brain dump with you guys that I actually cut out and then reference not 2 minutes later. I cut it out because it's basically me going on. I know it's going to bother you that I've cut it out and then I reference it again, and there's like a on screen there's a bit of text that basically says I cut out the rant, my apologies. So I did just want to explain myself. It's basically me going on about the fact that I'm really struggling with imposter syndrome right now as far as YouTube is concerned. My channel hasn't been doing too well for the last couple of months and I've been really struggling with it. I think what's happened is that with summer being here, I know that I've been putting a lot of videos into my watch later and I haven't been watching as much YouTube as I normally do. I've been socialising a lot more, and when I am at home I'm focusing on work and reading. So I know that I'm doing it, and I have spoken to my patrons about it, and I know they're doing it. So I think in general there is a general sense of videos will be watched, but it's just going to be later on when the weather gets a bit crapper and people are staying in and spending more time watching YouTube. But right now the weather's been, albeit not July, but the weather's been kind of good. People have been doing stuff and going out. The kids are coming off school, so people haven't got time to watch YouTube, and my videos have not been doing well, and I've been freaking out that it's something I've done wrong, especially with the change I made with my channel recently, with going from weekly vlogs to monthly vlogs and dedicated, you know, specific vlogs as well. So I've been freaking out that it's something I'm doing wrong. I've been having real bad imposter syndrome. Do I still belong here on YouTube? Should I cancel my channel? Should I get a full-time job? And I've been really freaking out, and that was basically, it wasn't a rant by any means, it was actually just me kind of doing a little bit of a mental health brain dump that I think I needed to make myself a little bit better, and then forgot that I probably wouldn't leave it in, and I referenced it again. So I just wanted to come on. I feel like that articulated it way better than past me did, because I was verbal vomiting and just trying to get it out of my system, whereas this, I am feeling a little bit better. My channel still isn't doing great, but I am feeling a bit better. The fact that I'm on top of my shit, the fact that I'm organising my videos right now, the fact that I'm back reading again, because at the beginning of the month as well I said that this is going to be the, it's fucking pouring down. Unbelievable. The fact that I am on top of my shit with my videos, the fact that I am doing well with that in general, the fact that I'm back reading. I did say at the beginning of this month that I wanted to sort my shit out in July. I wanted to sort my house out, I wanted to sort out my reading, I wanted to sort out my work. I feel like I'm getting my work and my reading sorted, albeit it doesn't seem to be, I don't seem to be feeling like I'm getting the same from YouTube. That's fine. I think there's just a lull period, you know, and that's okay, and I just need to be okay with that. So yeah, that was, I just wanted to make myself clear about what happened there. I didn't want to kind of leave you all in the lurch and in the dark a little bit and wondering what the fuck I was talking about. That was basically it. I was just having a very low few days and just needed to get it off my chest about imposter syndrome and how much I was struggling with my channel and everything else that's going on with that. So I am feeling a little bit better, not 100%. I do still have quite severe imposter syndrome, but my shelves have been helping. The shelves have got nothing to do with it. I just feel better about having them up. I think I was having a really tough time with my books being everywhere. The house was still upside down, which it is still upside down, but the fact that I even have some semblance of the library coming together makes me feel so much better. So yeah, I now need to focus on like the back room. I might even do a little bit of tidying in there today while listening to Twisted Lies. So I better get a shufty on because this has been a really long update and now it's pissing it down, so I am going to drive, which it's much closer in the car, but parking is a fucking nightmare. So I'm going to set off earlier, and if I'm there really early, I'll nip in B&M and have a wander around. So that is my plan, and I will check back in with you when I've got an update for you. Hello, it's Wednesday. I just got back from an impromptu trip to Wigan. Totally nearly said Forbidden Planet then, because I've just said it in the Patreon vlog. From Wigan. I'm not going to show you what I picked up because I'm going to do it in a separate video, but I nipped to Waterstones. Yesterday I was feeling a little bit shit, I think I mentioned it, and I just this morning needed some serotonin. I needed a serotonin boost, and I know I shouldn't be spending money to get the serotonin boost, but it works. It's worked a treat. I nipped to the works, didn't pick anything up in there, nipped to Waterstones, picked a few books up in there, and then spotted a bubble tea stand while I was in Wigan. This has perked me right up. This is absolutely delicious. I got mango and strawberry with strawberry bubbles, and it is so good. Amazing. The first time I ever had this was with Andy's niece. We picked some up while we were in Asda doing a food shop, and she made me one and it was so fucking good. So I was buzzing to spot that. It's only as I was walking out of the shopping centre that I spotted it, and I was like, grab myself one of them. So now I'm back home. I nipped to Asda as well, did a little bit of a food shop. Now I'm back home and I need to get some work done. My dad's asked me to do something for him. I've just gotten an email from my mortgage advisor, so I need to check that out, and then I need to edit the Twisted Series vlog. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get on with some reading. So I will check back in with you when I know what I'm picking up to read. I think I'm actually going to try and focus on finishing off the vlog that I'm doing kind of like with Gav. He was recommending me some books, so I think I'm going to try and finish that off, to be honest. Try and focus on that because I've only got 3 books left for that. It's a manga video. I might try and finish that off, and then I do need to pick up I'll Always Be Yours. I need to do at least today's chapters, if not a bit more, but I really do want to listen to some Dark Fae. So I know I've been saying this for about a week now, but I do need to tidy the house up, so I'm gonna do work first and then I can tidy the house up, and while I'm doing that I can listen to Dark Fae. So I think that's my plan, but I'll check back in with you and let you know what I'm doing, and I will speak to you then.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope. Fill my head with roses. I can't help but dream away. Standing on.
Okay, hello. It is currently Monday the 31st of July. That was nearly January then. It's not January, it's July. And I'm here actually to wrap up this monthly reading vlog because well, it's only 5:25 in the evening, but I want to get it edited and uploaded and ready to go. To be perfectly honest, there's not much else going to be happening this evening. I'm doing Magic Monday sprints right now with my patrons, but I'm on the last sprint. I'm going to go make some food, and then I'm going to nestle in for, I think, an evening of editing / watching Sons of Anarchy. I think that's going to be my plan. Andy started rewatching it. I watched it years ago and I've been terrified about watching it ever since because of what happens to one of the most lovable characters in the whole series around season 5. If you know, you know. And I ended up watching that episode with him yesterday. So I have been watching since about halfway through season 4 with him. and I just carried on last night when I got home from his for a couple of episodes. So I think I'm going to continue on watching a bit of that this evening. I've gotten loads done today. I've got 3 videos to edit by the time I've done with this clip. I've got the Patreon week vlog, I've got this, and then I've got an unboxing to edit as well. So I might get on with some editing, I might just watch some TV, but other than that, there's not much else to share with you. So I might as well wrap this up now while it's still light. I did just want to come on and very quickly let you know how the back end of the month's reading has gone. This month has gone really, really well with reading. Let me just, while we're at my computer, open this up so I can give you just very briefly a couple of stats for July compared to June, because I will be doing a wrap up for when will I be doing a wrap up for? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. July, August, September, but it won't be until the beginning of October. So in June I read 6 books. Did I DNF? No, I didn't. Which was 1,984 pages. It was my worst month of the year. In July, I will have read, right now, I haven't added the last book on that I've just finished now, but right now it's sitting at 20 books read, 21, but I've DNF'd one. 20 books read, 6,508 pages read, which is my second best month of the year. Obviously, April was the best month. So I am ridiculously proud of myself for this month and what I've managed to complete and read, because I have managed quite a lot. I'm just very quickly actually going to run the stats through for this, because then I can tell you what I'm going to rate it. Yeah, that makes sense. So I have just finished I'll Always Be With You by Monica Murphy. This, I think, is like the 3rd book in this series. I haven't read the others in the series yet, but I do have A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. I think I've mentioned this earlier on in this vlog. I do want to go back and read those books now. We're following Caroline Lancaster and also West. I can't remember if I've given you this rundown, but I'll try and make it as brief as I can. Caroline Lancaster's family owns a prep school, Lancaster Prep School. She actually goes to a dance school in London, and she is doing a show in France, in Paris, at the beginning of this book. She comes across this boy called West, and she's quite mean to him. She's very standoffish as a person anyway. She doesn't let people in. She doesn't have feelings very often. She doesn't trust people easily. There's a reason for it. She ends up having this one night of passion, if you like, with West, and then deems that she'll never see him again. However, something happens and she ends up finding herself at Lancaster Prep, and it turns out that West has not graduated like he told her when they met in Paris. He's actually still at Lancaster Prep, and this then turns into very much an enemies to lovers. It was insta love, then enemies to lovers, and then a lot happens and it becomes like a second chance romance. There's like a part 2 where there's 2 years have passed, and they end up coming together again. And I really enjoyed this. I don't think I've read a second chance romance before where the romance has happened in the first portion of the book and then the second chance happens towards the end. I think usually the second chance romances that I have read is that they've had a history off page that we don't know about and we find out about throughout the book, and the whole book is second chance romance. I kind of liked the tropes that were dragged into this, and the way that it blended the different tropes, like the insta-love on the one night of passion and blah, blah, blah. And then the whole enemies to lovers coming around to that while they're at Lancaster Prep. And then the 2 years later with the second chance romance. I just really enjoyed this. I thought it was really, really good. One thing I will say is that someone could do with going over this with a fine tooth comb as far as editing is concerned. I saw a few mistakes in here. One of them being a little bit later on, the chapter starts off with him taking his boxers off, and not 2 pages later she's trying to get into his boxers, and I was like, he's already lost his boxers. Somebody needs to reread this chapter. And there was a couple of spelling mistakes as well. That's just me being picky. I pick up on these things. I don't know why. I don't pick up on it in my own writing, so I don't know why I'm doing it to anybody else's. But that's just me being picky. It needs to be gone through with a fine tooth comb, I think. But overall, really enjoyed this. I liked the characters, despite the fact that when this started off, I wasn't sure this was going to be up my street. the first few chapters were reading very young. I know it's new adult, they were reading incredibly young. They start off at 17 in this book, and they were reading incredibly young, almost like 14-year-olds a little bit. And I didn't like either of the characters, and I think that's kind of the point. And the whole thing through all of this though, the thing that got me through was that I was really looking forward to the character arcs of both Carolina and Weston. So I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the romance. I enjoyed that there wasn't like a second, third act breakup, if that makes sense. I just really enjoyed the second half of this, I'm not gonna lie. And then the darker bits in here as well, I think were done very well, and I just had a good time with this one, and I've given it 4 stars. So yeah, thanks to Tandem for sending me this and having me on their read along. I had a good time. 4 stars for this one. So that's the only other thing that I have finished now. I can't remember what else well, I could tell you with Core Pile, but I don't see the point. You've watched a video. There's no point repeating myself, and I will be doing a wrap up at some point anyway, beginning of October probably. But for another vlog, I have started One Piece. I'm 70 pages in, having a good time. And then just in general, I have been reading Dark Fate as well by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valente. I'm not going to finish this obviously in July, it's going to go into August. But I'm currently 113 pages into this one. I'm really enjoying myself. So yeah, I will start off the August vlog mentioning this one and telling you exactly what it's about, because I don't see the point too much in this one. It's basically following Aurora Academy, and it's following Elise, whose brother was killed, and she's trying to find the killer, and it's the possibility of one of the 4 heirs, and she has to figure out which one it is. And 2 of the heirs are kind of like run 2 different clans at Aurora Academy that are fighting on the daily. So I'm intrigued to see how this is going to go, but so far enjoying myself and looking forward to hopefully finishing this and picking up the second one in August. Fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. So yeah, overall July was a really particularly busy month. Had quite a few birthdays, had quite a few events to go to. It's very social. But somehow it's been like my second best reading month of the year, and I'm absolutely flabbergasted. I don't know what's happened. I feel like I've really turned myself around this month, and I'm really pleased with myself. I had the whole freak out with the imposter syndrome towards the middle of the month. That had kind of bled from June, I'm not gonna lie. June was a bad month in general. But towards the end of this month, I'm feeling really good about how things are going. My reading, YouTube, it's not great, but it could be worse. But I'm feeling good about the content that I'm doing, and I'm feeling happy with how things are going, even though sometimes it can be difficult. I've changed from weekly vlogs to now like monthly vlogs and themed vlogs. I think something that I was struggling with was reading across several different vlogs and trying to keep up with that, and I think I've got into the mentality of trying to deal with that now, and I'm doing much better with it. And what I love is that I get to, like today for example, my Patreon week vlog and then another video that I filmed this morning have all come to a finish today, which means that I've got 3 videos that I can edit, upload, schedule, and I'm like weeks in advance with my videos now, and it's making me feel so much more relaxed and so much better about how things are going. So I'm really happy about that. I did want to be on top of my videos, especially coming up to September as well, because I'm going away for a week in September, and I want to make sure that I've got at least the week that I'm away and then the week that I get back, those videos all done and ready, like scheduled, ready to go, so that when I get back I'm not having to rush videos when I get, like, you know, rush to get back into work. Sometimes it can be difficult for me to jump straight back into work when I've had a week away, and especially a week away with family, because then I need some time to wind down on my own as well, because it's always go go go. You're living with these people for a week and I'm not used to that. I need then some time, just like a day or 2, to wind down and kind of get myself out of overstimulation, which is what happens. So even though it is my family, it does happen. So yeah, I want to be able to give myself that day or 2 of relaxation when I get back. We do get back on the Friday, so then I've got the weekend and then the Monday and Tuesday where I work for myself. So if it takes me 4 days, it takes me 4 days, but otherwise I've got the weekend and I can chill and relax, and it should be nice. So yeah, Anyway, that was a ramble. I'm gonna go. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Chat to me in the comments down below. What did you get up to in July? Did you have anything very exciting happen in July? And what was your favourite read of July? What was my favourite read of July? Let's find out. So I've had 3 5-star reads. The Unfamiliars, which was absolutely adorable. I loved that book. Zodiac Academy, The Reckoning. Oh, shit, yeah. 5 stars. I fucking loved that. It was great. And then another book that's for another vlog that I don't want to spoil right now. So the majority, everything else has been 4 or 3 stars, which is great. So I've had a pretty good reading month and just 1 DNF. And I'm really happy with how it's gone. So yeah. Chat to me in the comments down below. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.